Have you ever walked away from a sales appointment wondering what the heck just happened? Typically, this happens after you've done an appointment where you have been a victim of feature dumping. What exactly is feature dumping? It's when you go into your sales appointment and you tell your prospect everything there is to know about your product or service within the first minute. Now, maybe it's not a literal minute, but it's immediately. The problem when you feature dump is you have no understanding and no concept of why your prospect said no. We feature dump because we have two problems. One, we lack confidence. Two, we lack understanding of the sales process. Let's talk about both of those. Number one, lacking confidence. When you feature dump everything there is to know about your product, it is a telltale sign that you lack confidence in your product or service. Now, you may say, no, I completely believe my product is the best. I like it. I understand it. But you lack the confidence to have a slow-paced conversation that allows for open dialogue, that allows for challenging questions. And you believe that if I just tell you everything there is to know about it, I'm going to get my point across. Now, intentionally, that's not what you're doing. Subconsciously, that's exactly what you're doing. You're rushing to the finish line with all the wonderful things about your product and service, hoping that someone says yes. Side note, hope is not a strategy. We shouldn't be hoping our way to closing a sale. So because you lack that confidence, either in your product, in yourself, in your sales process, it shows because you start to feature dump and tell Mr. Prospect, look at the bells and whistles on this product. It does this, it does that, it can do this, it does that. When you start rambling like that, you literally have lost your prospect. And don't feel bad if you've done it. You're not alone. We've all done it. I've done it. It happens all the time. The second problem that happens when you're feature dumping, and here's why you're feature dumping, and I think this is the bigger problem. People lack an understanding of sales process. You see, if you understood that there is a sales process, now whatever sales process you follow, there's a lot of great sales processes out there. I'm not here to debate which one's better or which one's worse. Whatever works for you is great. But when you lack an understanding of your sales process, that's typically when you start to feature dump. Because if you were confident in your sales process and confident in your understanding of your sales process, you do realize all the features, benefits, and advantages of your product or service will be displayed. They will come up throughout your entire sales process. But because we lack an understanding of that sales process, then we just start to word vomit and try to muscle our way to a sale. That isn't going to work. I promise. Feature dumping and trying to muscle your way through a sales process and get to the end as quick as possible is going to lead to lower revenue, a lower closing ratio, smaller commissions, possibly upset employees or turnover because people aren't going to make money doing that process. So here's how you fix that. Number one, to avoid feature dumping, master the skill of understanding your sales process. Whatever company you work for, if you work for yourself or if you're an entrepreneur or you're in digital marketing, you have a sales process. Master your sales process. So much so that every sales process you go through, every appointment you go through, you know what's going to happen. You should understand your sales process so well that the questions you get throughout your appointment start to become repetitive. You should start anticipating them when people are going to ask them, when they're going to have a certain reaction, when they're going to make a hard pivot, because you understand your sales process. What exactly is the sales process? It's the roadmap you follow to get someone to say yes. It's the roadmap you follow on your appointment, right? Pre-call planning, needs analysis, identifying the pain, presenting a solution, right? Whatever methodology you follow, and I don't want to ramble between the multiple or many that I know. I'm simply saying you have to understand the one you're going to execute. So once you understand that sales process, that burning desire to feature dump is no longer going to be a problem. The second solution is the confidence. Take a deep breath before your sales presentation. Full disclosure, when I was ever nervous, and not if I was, when I am nervous for a large sales deal, or my nerves get going, or I get shaking, on my notes, wherever I'm presenting, whatever's going to be there, I literally write the words calm, close, collect. 3 C's: calm, close, collect. Calm, Anthony, remain calm. Close, you were going to close effectively. Collect all the information you need to make sure that you've done a great job. That's it. It's a little simple note I write to myself to keep my nerves in check, to prevent me from feature dumping. That's what I got for you guys this week. I'm Anthony Garcia. Thanks for joining the blog. I'll see you next week.